it shock you if I told you that almost 9,000 homes were sold last month here in Phoenix during the quarantine? I'm going to give you some quick stats here in Phoenix for the month of April while we were in lockdown that might be very interesting. First of all, we had almost 9,000 homes, 8,768 homes closed in the month of April, which is up 4.3% from April of 2019. In addition, we had seen active listings are down 23%. That is not a surprise. We already had a shortage of supply going into the year, and we're not seeing people put their homes on the market right now. We are undersupplied for the Phoenix area. Now, things you probably aren't going to be shocked about is demand's down and listings under contract down 25% year over year. And our monthly median sales price, it's actually up. Year over year, we're 13.8% up from April of 2019 to April of 2020. So first, I want to put this into perspective of what it looks like for a buyer. Now, the kickoff of 2020 was turning into a nightmare for normal buyers. You were competing against investors, Airbnb investors, normal buyers, second home buyers. It was a frenzy, multiple offers on other homes. Prices were going up so quick that we were actually worried that this price increase was going to be unsustainable. And we wondered what would slow the market down. And we got it, an act of nature. When the COVID-19 pandemic came into our market like a wrecking ball, we immediately saw a sharp decrease in demand. We were pinching the hose of that buyer demand because buyers weren't coming here. They were canceling their vacation rental plans. They were in their states on lockdown, and they just weren't able to physically come here and see homes. And investors started to pull out of the market because of the uncertainty of being able to sell in a market where buyers and sellers maybe couldn't even go into the homes. So with this decrease of demand, we of course saw longer times on market. But what we're seeing is it's not a buyer demand that's gone away. It's a buyer demand that a lot of it's been putting on the pause button. But it's good as far as the buyers now have more of an advantage in this market. While you might, in some price segments under 500, you might only have 2 or 3 offers that you're competing with instead of 10 to 20. If you're over $500,000, especially if you're over $1 million or $2 million, and you're in that luxury segment, you have a lot more leverage today. How long this is going to go on as far as the pause button, not everybody has put the pause button on. With our team, we sold 27 homes in the month of April. Some of these homes were sold sight unseen. The buyer had never physically been to the house. We have virtual tours. We do FaceTime. We have an inspector come and inspect the house. Even the final walkthrough we can do through technology now. So with that being said, buyers, the prices aren't going down. Interest rates are still low. Will prices go down? It's not likely that we're going to see that in the short term. This pandemic has been weeks in the making, and when we already started to see light at the end of the tunnel with showings going up and escrows going up over the last 2 weeks, it should be weeks to months in the recovery. Though no one totally knows what we're going to see because nobody has ever experienced this in our lifetime. But as a buyer, the good thing is you're not just buying a home at the price you're buying it. You're also buying the interest rate. And the interest rates now are at historical lows. If you look at what the interest rate was in 2005 for the same home at the median sales price, if you bought a home at the median sales price in 2005 at the interest rate back then, which was 6.5%, and then if you bought a home today at the interest rate of 3.55%, our median home prices are almost the same, but your mortgage payment would be $600 more. So to keep that in perspective, we still have buyer demand. Buyers are still buying. It's actually a good thing. We slowed that price appreciation down a bit, so it's not going up as crazy fast, and there's not as much competition. So buyers do have more choices, and they're more in the driver's seats than they were a month ago. So light at the end of the tunnel for buyers, but also not the fear that they're going to buy a home and the price is going to absolutely crash a month later, because that hasn't happened. Prices are still appreciating today. And one of the biggest things is supply is not increasing. We're at half the amount of supply we really need to have here in Phoenix to have a flat market. But we don't have a flat market. We have a market that's still appreciating because of that supply. Now, with the demand being low, when things do lift and the lockdowns do get eased with different states, we will naturally see more buyers physically here, which we have already been seeing. We can see showing trends, and over the course nationwide, over the last 3 weeks, they've been on an uptick every single week. And it's really important to know because buyer activity and consumer sentiment we have seen start to turn around. Back in 2008, a family making the median income can only afford 27% of what was selling. In today's market, the family making the median income can afford 68% of what is selling based on today's incomes and interest rates. It's a much more affordable market here in Phoenix. So what does the market look like for sellers? Well, it's no surprise that, of course, demand is down. Buyers can't travel here. A lot of buyers don't feel comfortable going and seeing houses. But the market under $500,000 is having a much different experience than the luxury market over $500,000. Under $500,000, we've seen about a 30 to 40% slowdown in sales, not prices, but sales, depending on your location. Now, homes priced $500,000 and over, we've seen a 64% reduction in sales. So we are definitely experiencing more slowdown in the luxury market, and we expect to see that. And we also expect to see recovery as stock portfolios come back and people are able to travel again. Of course, there's too much uncertainty right now to tell you exactly what that recovery looks like. But all of the trends that we're looking at are a lot more optimistic than what you're seeing on the media. Buyers and sellers both. I want to talk to both of you here. Now, we're seeing something that's unprecedented, and it's something that no one totally knows what's going to happen. However, Phoenix was arguably one of the hottest markets, one of the hottest relocation markets, and buyers aren't pulling out completely. They're not able to qualify, or they're not able to buy, or not wanting to buy. Most buyers are still able to buy, but what they've done is put the pause button. And that pause button might be just simply things like travel restrictions. Maybe the pause button is, I'm scared, I want to see what's happening before I buy. And I want to put the good news out there, because there's not enough good news, and certainly the media is not going to give you the good news, because why would you click on the story? The good news is that you have more leverage as a buyer. You have amazing, historically low interest rates starting in the low threes, going on up. And will those interest rates be here a year from now? I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't believe so. It's a great time to be a buyer. And now you have a little more leverage. It's a little hot. We're going into hotter weather right now in 100 degrees, but don't worry. We've got waters for you. We've got ice, and you're going to have more of an edge right now coming in the summer months. Now, for sellers, I'm going to give you the good news is prices aren't going to crash overnight. That's not how the real estate market works. It's simply economics and supply and demand. Supply is 50% of the market right now. We would have to double to triple supply for prices to go down. Is that going to happen? No, probably not. Now, I'm not a psychic. I wish I was, or I might not be here because I would just win the lottery a bunch of times. But I can tell within 6 months if there's a price trending going down. And that just simply isn't happening more due to supply being so low, but also demand is still there. We're still selling almost 9,000 homes a month here in Phoenix. But if you are a luxury seller, you're just going to have to make sure you're priced right. You're not going to be able to push the market like you were 6 weeks ago. Your condition, just make sure you're going to have to do extra things like staging, making sure that every showing you have all the lights on, that you have all the house is impeccably clean. It's just going to be a little bit harder. But you know what's exciting about all of this, guys? I am an expert. I've been in real estate for 17 years. I've learned a lot of tricks, and I am so passionate about this industry, always looking to get better, that this is where I can shine. This is where my team can shine, because we're able now to pull all of those tools out. I've been through many difficult markets because it wasn't just 2008. We've had a lot of blips on the radar here. They're just not big enough to really report on. And anytime it's harder to sell, you just need a better agent, and that's us. But in any case, because we all know that location is different. You could be selling in North Scottsdale and you're going to have a different experience than if you're selling in Chandler. And the good thing is with our team, we cover the whole valley. I'm here in Scottsdale, but I've got great partners in all areas of the valley. We know what we're doing and can give you an honest and informative buying and selling strategy during COVID, because it's more important than ever to have an expert on your side. I hope that you found this information valuable. And if you have any questions about buying or selling during these crazy uncertain times, text the number below. I'll reach out to you and let you know if it is or if it maybe isn't a good time for you to buy, and to make sure that you have the strategy that you feel the most comfortable with. So thank you for being with me today. I would really appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. It really fires me up and it gets me excited to deliver more and more value to you. As always, thank you for joining, and I'll catch you on the next market update.